Hello! So many of you will have played already, but in case you haven't, the Halo 3 Refueled playlist in Halo Infinite now has VR starts. So rather than being the assault rifle and the sidekick, it's now the battle rifle and the assault rifle, which a lot of people have agreed with, said that they wanted that ever since the playlist came out, and obviously happy with, that they've done that. There is some people obviously that didn't feel it was needed. There's some people that said it should go back to AR like it was in Halo 3 for all the social modes. Me personally, I don't care. I played again for another 30-40 minutes. Still enjoyed it. It felt pretty much the same, other than my gunfights, I'd say a bit more medium range rather than close range, which makes sense, using a different weapon. That's pretty much it on that. They also did some minor tweaking to some of the maps so that they performed better, because I think one of them wasn't too performant, so they've optimized it a little bit, and that's that. So the other half of this quick video is to mention skill-based matchmaking once again. I made a video on this basically explaining how skill-based matchmaking should work and does work in other games, and along with Halo. But it seems I was too early to the party, because then 24 hours later, everyone started talking about skill-based matchmaking, to the point where it was trending on Twitter, and a tweet from Max Hoberman, the original creator of Halo's skill-based matchmaking that he designed for Halo 2 and Halo 3, now has almost 1 million views. So I was early to this, because my video doesn't have anywhere near this. My video is still stuck on like 250 views. It's a shame. Pretty sure if I made that video 24 hours later, would have got a lot more traction. Oh well. So Max says that the ignorance regarding current skill-based matchmaking is infuriating to him, and that he thinks his system, implemented all the way back in like 2003, 2004, whatever it was, would be completely viable today. What Max designed was a system that clearly divides ranked and unranked matchmaking playlists, which is how it should be. There should be no hidden skill-based matchmaking in the social modes that is trying to ensure that you get a 50-50% win-loss in the game. It shouldn't exist. It should exist in ranked modes because you want an even playing field. It should not exist in social modes, and it still does in Halo. I believe what Max did was pretty much perfect. There was some variability, so you could match people that were, I think it was like 4 to 6 levels above or below you, and that would increase as your search time got longer. So obviously it would start off trying to match you with people that were the same rank. If it couldn't find people in 30 seconds or so, it would increase, and it would go all the way to trying to find for 5 minutes, and then eventually I think it would just cancel the search, which is exactly how matchmaking works for regions as well. It will try and find you a person within your country first, and if it can't do after a minute or so, it will expand the search results. At least that's how a lot of games work, and it's how we programmed our matchmaking in our game Cross-Planet, which I mentioned a few times on the channel now. Max believes that the range of skilled players they allowed to match each other, so within that 6 level range, provided 3 experiences in ranked matchmaking, which is an easier game where you can kick the enemy team's butt, a harder one where you're likely outmatched, and then an even one which would be the most strict and stressful. The problem today is that we only have one of those, which is the extremely stressful game where you have to try hard every single time, and people aren't too happy with that because it just promotes stress and makes people not want to play the game. There's also issues with current matchmaking where rather than being on an individual player basis, it's on an entire team's elo basis, which is also a big problem, and I spoke about that in my video previously, so I'm not really going to dive into it here. Other than a quick summary, skill-based matchmaking should look at individual players' skill and make sure it's pairing people who are of similar skill. However, Halo Infinite skill-based matchmaking groups players into a team of 4 and averages the skill out, which means you could have 2 amazing players and 2 really bad players on the same team, and it will balance them out to a middle ground. But sadly, that's just not how things work. The players who are then obviously bad are going to go 1 and 17 and drag down the 2 guys who are actually trying really hard to win this match, and everyone is just dealt a bad hand. It's not enjoyable for anyone. Max mentions some of this himself. He says that the failure of modern skill-based matchmaking, in his opinion, is that it's designed to maximize perfect scenarios and minimize the randomness. When it's working, a majority of games become super stressful and tight, and it's not fun for anyone. There needs to be variability, and I agree. The system used for Halo 2 and Halo 3 ensured a healthy mix of possible games. Of course, it sucks getting absolutely stomped, which was a possibility, but it comes full circle when you, 2 games later, are the ones stomping the enemy team. Obviously, throw in one of those tight, strict, evenly matched games every so often, and you have a fun experience. And as I mentioned really early on in the video, for social modes, Max made sure that the skill-based matchmaking had no factor in unranked playlists search results. It would search for people based somewhat within your skill level. However, it would be substantially larger, to the point where somebody who just loaded up the game could match someone who'd been playing for 4 weeks, and someone who was level 3 could match someone who was level 20. And if you were playing with friends, I believe that would grow even more, and it would just create an average of everyone in your lobby. So in that scenario, if you are a new player but you have somebody who is a level 35 friend, you might go up against people who are level 25, 28, 27, etc. But this is what social modes should be. You're not going in there to try hard and win every game. You're going in to lean back rather than enter the famous gamer pose of leaning towards your monitor and then ending up with upper back pain after a few years. You just want to sit back, relax, maybe stick on some music or a movie on the other monitor or some YouTube, or you want to eat some snacks while you're gaming, and today that is just not possible in modern gaming. You have to try hard every single game as if you're competing for $1 million at the Halo World Championships. So I probably dragged on a little bit more than I want to. I think I wanted to make this video about 5 or 6 minutes, so we'll end it here. Let me know in the comments what you think of modern skill-based matchmaking, and just in summary, what your experience is with the unranked playlists in Halo Infinite, and if you feel that they still are super sweaty and it needs to be toned down. Thanks for watching this, and as always, a brief mention to CrossPlanet, the game I mentioned earlier. It's my game that I've been working on for a small group of people for about 3 years now. We have a playtest in December, date to be announced, but it will be in the next few weeks. So if the gameplay you see on screen is intriguing to you, it's very much like third-person Halo, Quake, Unreal Tournament. Just go to our Discord or Steam, wishlist the game, and keep in touch with us, keep up to date with socials, and we'll let everyone know when the playtest date is. It's on PC, and it does run on a variety of machines. We have people playing who are using like 4GB graphics cards, and then of course we have people playing who are using 16GB cards. So if you're stuck on an entry-level gaming PC or gaming laptop, you can play. My laptop, my personal one, cost about £500, and I can play the game. So you don't need a supercomputer, so feel free to jump in and enjoy the game.